opinion that can go to them, because they've been the ones that have been enduring this loss, this bloodshed, this destruction over and over again. So I can blame the president, I can blame the governor, I can blame the local government, I can blame the police for not being there, but I cannot blame the people of Igongo, really.
Actually, let's go to the news with regards to Igongo. I mean, it's interesting that you brought that up. In the news, I think was it a day or two ago, here in the Guardian newspaper, former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and former presidential candidate of ADC, Mr. Obadiah Malafia, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to visit Igongon people and commiserate with the victims over the carnage that happened. Of course, Malafia here, who spoke with the Guardian on a sideline of a program in Ibadan, warned that failure to do so, more of Igbos would take over to rescue the people. He said, we're very angry and heartbroken on what happened in Ogongo, and we condemn it. So the people are very peaceful and enlightened. They don't deserve what is happening to them. Do you think that the president visiting would make any difference?
I think there's a lot of carnages going on around different parts of Nigeria, and there's no way the president can touch on all the areas. I mean, Igogo is not the only place. There's been kidnappings and killings in Kebbi, in Katsina, in Zamfara. The president hasn't been to all these places, so it's going to be unrealistic to think that the president would just come to Igogo. Igogo is not the only place. I mean, different places are suffering, and I think it doesn't take the president being there. I can't remember where it was that there was a crisis. I think an attack of some sorts. The president was there, the chief of army staff then, they were all there. And then just a few hours after the president had left, there was another attack. So I think it's more than just the president going there to visit. It's about putting the machinery in place to make sure that it doesn't happen. The people are secured, even when the president is not visiting them, even when the chief of army staff or, the service chiefs are now converging there, that security actually works in those communities.
Before you respond, would it be unfair? Idris Abdul Karim, we all know him, the sing
Nigerian Jaga Jaga singer.
Exactly, Nigerian Jaga Jaga singer says Igongon violence, Buhari is silent but would have threatened Igbos if cows were killed. Is that unfair?
That's unfair.
All of these
narratives and
yes, I don't know how
sentimental and propagandists
kind of thing.
I was discussing with you some time ago. I said we just pull issues together and muddle the water rather than isolate them and discuss them. In their own merits,
yes,
and look at them critically. Look, the governor went to Igongo and said, "I am to be blamed." He said, "I take responsibility," and so we can keep that. Understand it, assimilate it. The second thing is that I said it yesterday on Rendezvous. We got intel. That was intel that so people are regrouping.
And this is going to happen.
And something might happen, even if we don't know what exactly will happen. Should Igongo have been left, vulnerable, knowing what happened to it recently? Let's get onto brass tack. I mean, there was a problem with the Fulani headsmen and the rest. There was the factor of Sunday Igboho went in there, pursued them, give them ultimatum. After that, so you thought that those people that were aggrieved at that time were just going to say, we left, and then they will go away like that. They are criminals. So those criminals will regroup.
Absolutely.
So what did we do? Didn't we, at the point, drop the ball when it comes to security of those people? At that time, those who were responsible at every layer, not just of one layer, not just one man. So when we all fix our mind to Mr. President didn't go to...
I totally agree.
Mr. President did not
Why
go
do we have
to,
governors? Why do we have... people.
That's what I was saying earlier. I mean, there are layers of security, people with different responsibilities.
Yes.
Who are supposed to, hold on to their own side of it and do what they were supposed to do.
I totally agree.
So who dropped the ball? Who are the people who dropped the ball? Some people somewhere did not do what they were supposed to do, and that happened to those people. So they became victims. Somebody showed me a picture yesterday of a man carrying a child baby. I mean, that picture had left me devastated since yesterday evening. I mean, a man weeping and carrying a child baby on his hand in Nigongo. That's a Nigerian. That child, we failed that child.
Absolutely. I mean, the president granted an interview to Arise TV recently, and on state police, he actually said something here. He says, I've told governors who came to me to complain about herders and farmers' crisis to go back to the old system where traditional leaders, police, traders, and elders meet regularly to discuss security situation in their localities and solve them. And if it is above them, they pass it on. Governors can't go around and win elections, then sit tight and wait for somebody to do their jobs for them. What are your thoughts on
I mean, he has a point there, but I think our realities have kind of changed. We don't hold traditional rulers in the high esteem that we used to.
Right.
These people used to be, very powerful. I don't think that the civilization, modernization, call it whatever, has, kind of whittled down on their power. So I think that can be a strategy, but can it work in the times that we're in, though? Our borders have to be the biggest problem that we have, because oftentimes we're told that these people, some of them, a lot of them, are not even Nigerians. So I think the major problem should be, how do we secure our borders and ensure that we don't have aliens, just walking through and causing mayhem and then walking out. Right. So apart from the governors not utilizing the structure, traditional rulers, and if you're having a meeting every week and you're discussing the destruction, and then you have a meeting, you go, and then there's another attack. Right. It's about blocking it from the source. Like, absolutely. Where is this? Why is it so easily? Why is it so easy for these people to come through, do these things, and go? Right. And they're not being tracked. They're not being caught. I think we should look at that rather than maybe when we get security up to a certain level, then we can hand it over to maybe traditional rulers and people on the lower levels and say, okay, now we've handled the situation. It's in your hands to ensure that you monitor it and make sure that things are kept in check. But at this point where we are, where everybody seems helpless, I think we're going to need more like heavy, I don't know, but...
And is it unfair for the president to say this also, to say they're sitting tight, when we still have the governors going cap in hand, and we have talked about devolution of power for a long time?
So the question is, why will there be a crisis in your state and then you run to the president? Because we have a unitary system. Exactly. That system still looks at the president as a father
for everything. Yes.
And the president didn't address that, because that's the elephant in the room. Because if
he said something about devolution of power, he said the problem is the local government has been virtually killed because those who became local government chairmen have been compromised. If your local government is entitled to 300 million naira, a letter will be prepared for you to sign that you've received 300 million naira and you'll be given 100 million naira. That's all he says about devolution of power.
The point is, what he's trying to allude to was the fact that the governors are just so powerful. They're emperors. You see, when you go to among intelligentsia, and I've done that a lot of time, and ask them, okay, so how many tiers of government do we have in Nigeria? We are divided on that stand. Some will tell you we have 2 tiers. Ask every governor; they will tell you we have 2 tiers of government. Governors, we have the state and the federal. They discounting as the local government. If you ask people who are pro devolution of power, they will tell you we have 3 tiers of governments. They'll say there is local government, there is state. In the real sense of it, it's the state and the federal government. The governors are so powerful that the local government chairmen are just but puppets in their hands. And so if you have that kind of a system where the governor tells the local government chairman what to do, then you cannot have governance at that level.
And it's the same thing with the state governors. I mean, when the state governors cannot give commands to commissioners of police, they say they rely on orders from above. So I think it's the same thing that's replicated. It's just that state governors have a little more power, a little more control. But when it all comes down to it, apart from now that we're seeing the institution of Ebubeago, Amoteku, and then there are people that governors can directly give orders to, but how efficient and effective are those people compared to state security forces or agencies?
I agree that the governors have limited powers over the police, but I can also tell you that they know how to use the police when they want to use the police. Take that. They know what to do. They know how to do it. I mean,
so you think they're just choosing not to do it?
It is just, they cannot. I mean, governors should not raise up their hands and feel handicapped or feel perplexed. That's why they're there. They know what to do. They know how to go about it. If they can't do it, they should leave the office.
Right. Okay. Let's hold the thought and then take a short commercial break. It is the Breakfast Show on Splash 105.5 FM. The Breakfast Gang is here and we're looking at hot topics from this week. So sit tight. Looks like we might be able to open phone lines soon and take your reactions and comments. And please go to Facebook. If you're not watching us, do watch us live on Facebook now and leave a comment for us as well and share to your group. Would absolutely appreciate that. We'll be right back after this break.
Morning Splash. What do you need na safeguard?
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pickings that must jolly.
Them like to jolly.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard too. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard too. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They come out every yama for body. It also they available for 50-gram size.
My name is Data Lover Joe Mapel. Any wolf I go know I'm well. MTN Pulse don't come ring my bell. What's this I hear of data just for the night? You see, I'm a very, very big guy, but I don't joke with my giggy bites. So MTN get the free the guy with this data plan for the midnight. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 gig, oh boy, I can live the life. IG, TikTok is ready to go, oh boy, I'm feeling fine. Because 11 to 6 in the morning, IG, TikTok, body, 2 gig, there for me. MTN Pulse, yes, of course, MTN Pulse.
MTN Pulse. Do you? Dial *406# to join. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Captain.
Yes, coach.
Shebi you sabi say if this our school go follow carry shoulder for people wey sabi, we must win this match.
Yes, coach.
No forget say 1, the time to win as they blow whistle to start the match. 2, no forget to protect your net every time.
Yes, coach.
Yes, so my correct champion.
Okay, champ. Make you go eat. Make you bath. So that you go fit sleep well. You hear?
Papa, you don't forget the net, oh.
Aha! Oya, tell us, how we go take for malaria hand?
All of us must sleep inside net every night. And when we know they use the net, now to arrange them well, keep one side.
Better pikin.
Our champion, we sabi every.
Papa, make you no forget you and mama net, oh.
The mosquitoes where they carry malaria, now for night them they bite. If everybody sleep inside net, mosquitoes no go bite anybody and malaria no go worry anybody. This message, now the Federal Ministry of Health and support from American people carry and come.
This is a woman's world.
When you get married, these are the kind of conversations you want to ask. You want to start talking about. It's not just about I love you, you love me, but real life questions about
Women are the salt that spice up life. To keep the spice of life alive, Women Matters. Orobiri Season 2 is coming back bigger and better. Catch the show on 9 top radio stations in all the Southwest states. You can now listen to Women Matters in Oyo, Osun, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, and Kwara states. Women Matters. Orobiri Orobubuamani.
What do you need na safeguard?
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pickings that must jolly.
Them like to jolly.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard too. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard too. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They come out every yama for body. It also they available for 50-gram size.
Hey, now Jumia 9th anniversary from 11th to 27th of June 2021. Code word, Versary. Oh yes, everything anniversary. Phone-versary. You will get phone for better prices.
Okay now, make a try am. Conversary.
Oh yes, you will get up to 30% off on top all home appliances. Plus daily flash sales and correct giveaways including free delivery for 1 year. The Jumia 9th anniversary sale make you celebrate your everyday from the 11th to 27th of June 2021.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Anytime malaria show, nakam shala tempo. Anytime malaria come, shala tempo. If malaria trouble you,
no let malaria come out action for your body. Nakam Shalatem will be brand of anti-malaria will contain Artemether and lumefantrine. Shalatem na medicine from Shalina Healthcare Nigeria. Then get Shalatem for every age group then. Make you remember to always use Shalatem with food. If symptoms no change after 3 days, go see your doctor.
This is a message to fish farmers and processors. The Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute, NISPRI, has developed fish smoking kilns. These kilns can process large quantities of fish hygienically, quickly, and in a conducive environment. Nispri fish smoking kilns can be powered by charcoal, gas, or electricity. They eliminate the hard labor that is associated with using traditional fish smoking kilns. The fish comes out evenly dried in an attractive golden brown color and is of much improved quality. It is widely acceptable even in international markets. For further information on Nispri smoking kilns, visit our website on www.nspri.gov.ng or any of our offices across the country. Nispri, improving food storage for a happier nation.
What do you need na safeguard?
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pigs that must jolly.
Them like to jolly.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard too. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard too. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They come out every yama for body. It also they available for 50-gram size.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Welcome back. It is still the Morning Splash. It's a beautiful Friday morning. I hope you're doing well wherever it is you're listening to us from. Thank you for tuning in to Splash 105.5 FM. Right now, you're listening to the Breakfast Gang on Splash. And of course, we're looking at some of the stories from this week. And I think really what dominated the newspapers, like we said, is obviously the Twitter ban. And of course, the president had an interview recently to address some of the issues that people have been talking about. And on making Nigeria attract foreign direct investment, his comment, really made me laugh a little. He said, you remember during the NSAS protest, the young people wanted to march here and remove me. Tell the youths if they want jobs, they should behave themselves and make sure the environment is secure so people can invest. Nobody will invest in an unstable environment. I was expecting him for cane. He looked like he should have cane there and tell all you youths. But I was saying this morning about how the past generation, well, let's say the older generation, needs to stop this seeing youths as people youths are adults who should also contribute to to policies. So this whole keep quiet and you stop being naughty behavior that they do with young people, I mean, just really needs to stop. I mean, the youth make up the larger population in this country. So
if you go down to the statistics, but let me say, I've been wanting to say this. Look, who gave the president the analysis that NSAS was to remove him?
Wow.
That's one side for me. And I know that a lot of people feel that NSAS protest was a regime change, process. That the ultimate was that the opposition wanted to use it to remove the government in power. That's one side that we need to clear, really. I don't know how we got to that point. Second is that NSAS protest had legitimate
angst and legitimate.
Yes, they had legitimate desire and calls. And it was a process that the youth had seen that it could work, if not because there were some hijack here and there. Those who I saw at one or two places that I visited and the place that I saw reported were organized people who wanted to end police brutality and some other extortion issues.
Absolutely.
Now, is it legitimate for Nigerians to protest? Yes. And government should not get it twisted. And we should still protest if it need be that we agree about something. That's what they call democracy.
Absolutely.
Now, if government is saying, the president is saying that you should behave.
Behaviors.
I mean, before they could get jobs, were they working before NSAS? Do they have jobs? That's the truth. And so, whose responsibility is for them to get jobs, to provide jobs for them? If you check our now and then statistics of unemployment, you'll be amazed, how deep we are fallen in terms of unemployment. And this bulge is growing. Government needs to sit up and do something about it. The people need to do something about unemployment, or else we're playing with fire.
Honestly, I mean, I think that with this and other things, it just shows the president's inability to grasp where Nigerians are and certain struggles that Nigerians have. Everybody knows the legitimacy until everything crumbled of the NSAS. I mean, the government was so rattled that they were even moved to accepting some of the conditions. So at what point did it change to being a move that was intended to topple the government of the day? It's just unfortunate. And I think the president has, from the way he's been speaking and the way that some of his representatives or his appointees, like the Minister of Information, have been quoting Twitter and NSAS, it seems like they have a huge grudge against what happened during NSAS, the kind of power that people had, the unity that youths were able to galvanize, and the fact that people, just came together on the, and were willing to demand change, because that was what the whole movement was about. But the president doesn't seem to be in touch with these things. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the way he's being advised. Maybe it's because he doesn't see the full picture. I do not know. I can't defend it, but it's rather unfortunate. Government here in this climate doesn't seem to understand the role of government. You were elected to make the lives of people better. I mean, you promised jobs to people. You didn't say, when I come into office, you two have to behave for me to be able to create jobs for them. I mean, we also saw how things were bad, and you thought you could be the person to get us to a better place, which is why people voted you. So we have expectations.
Absolutely.
And you have a responsibility.
It's
that is what it is.
At its best, gaslighting at its best, because I have a problem with you. I come to you with my problem, then you say the reason why there's a problem is because I came to you with my problem. It absolutely makes no sense. It's delusional. And I think that people who are talking to the president must give him the correct realities, give him the reality of things, as opposed to just telling, don't worry, they just, it's because, when someone thinks that they have haters, that's how you feel to me. Like, these are just my haters, the people that have genuine, requirements.
But Ronke, that's what you read from additional. That's what you hear from
Yes, they're just haters. If you criticize them, you're just haters.
That are just using the youth to get to government. I mean, I do not understand that. Adebayo Adejare on Facebook says, with the security situation in this country, big shame to the president and the entire military architecture when we have a retired Major General as our president is in charge of the security, and we cannot feel the impact of his impact. You're not talking about the governors. Why waiting for them in the time pass whenever there is crisis anywhere in the country? Well, thank you very much, Adebayo Adejare. Thank you, Olaiwola, Ronke, and Olawale Abioye for being part of this on Splash on Facebook.
Okay, let's take a few telephone calls. Keep your messages coming on Facebook. We'd love to read from you. Keep it coming. All right, and of course, don't forget we also have another topic there that I would like you to react to as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, everybody?
Great, thank you. Who's speaking, please?
Yeah. Okay. I think Joe is familiar with my voice. Yeah. The last time I was able to call in, I said it's more like an edit to be calling. So I think to what end is just calling. I think I've premeditated that it's going to Facebook done. Now, look at this. Yes, let me say it this morning. Facebook is included. So what does that translate to? What is the meaning of all this? Let us know what is the meaning. If you can't communicate again.
Facebook is included where, please? I don't think we understand you.
No, what? Am I not speaking English?
What did you say?
Gagging on Facebook and...
Who is gagging Facebook?
Okay, maybe it's me.
Not they're saying, they're not saying they're going to gag. They're saying they're going to obviously have some, they're going to be a licensing of social life. Exactly. So that's what they're saying. So if you're going to operate in Nigeria, you have to be licensed.
No. You in Nigeria be controlling the internet. I don't understand.
Okay, thank you.
I did not use Facebook.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olu. All right, let's take one more call real quickly. Number to call is 0809.
I think it's better to educate Nigerians about some of this thing. people should not use words that just come to them to describe official statement by government. Government is saying that they should have corporate body in Nigeria, they should be registered.
And I think it's not too much to ask, though. If you're making money from Nigeria, shouldn't you be paying taxes? Hello, good morning. Hello, Dr. Mark?
Dr. Mark,
okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is my view. See, it will be easy for federal government to get these social media handles to pay tax if they have structure on ground in Nigeria. They are only making use of space alone. So it's going to be difficult for them to really get them to pay the tax. I'm telling you the truth. Now, they have this same issue in some other countries, and they have to go and develop software to be able to track them. You understand? It is easy if they have an office, they have a structure on ground in Nigeria, then paying tax will be easy. So they will tell you that they are not making use of any structure in Nigeria. The way government can tax them is to go through our networks. Have a discussion with the network. After all, before we can access internet and use Facebook, Twitter, or any of these social media, we need data. So certain percentage should go to government through the data that is accruing to Twitter or to any other social media they want to regulate. But if they want to really get them to pay tax, I'm telling you it will be difficult. For now, we do not have the technology to do such because most of our software developers are useful to other countries of the world than here because they earn peanuts. So if government wants to track them, use all the social, all our networks. I don't want to mention the names of any of them. Have a discussion with them. That is a way to tax them through the data they are consuming. So that's the way to go. I want to say something about the government telling Nigerians that NSAS are responsible. Listen to this. You have bandits hiding in the forest, using the forest as their hideout. So when they kidnap, they take them to the forest. And yet you are still encouraging that cattle routes should be reserved for government. Is there not something needed that you want these people to keep perpetrating evil using these cattle routes? I want to advise government, the South governors, to please use everything in their power to use the youth in their state to secure their territories. Advice on this platform the other time.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, Dr. Mark. Thank you. Unfortunately, we haven't got too much time.
Well, I'd like to read this. Ibrahim Oyekami on Facebook says, I personally have a problem with how we all seem to overlook the actions and inactions of our elected appointed officials from different states. PMB is an easy target for us all to blame, but the fact is that we are not holding the others in position of authority to account. That is not true, that we are not holding them to account.
We just said something about how there are governors there, so yes. why are we always looking at...
Nobody's absolving them. And the president will also carry the blame too. The buck stops on his table.
Absolutely. All right, we've got someone here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ronnie G.
Good morning, Barrister Jiruka.
How are you doing?
Thank you. Go ahead.
This new program is exciting. I'm happy about it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You know, somebody met us say, Jeruka, they fear you, I don't want the matter. Is that everything you say have a way of coming to pass within a few hours, few days of a week? I said, what do you? Is that 5 days after you said we have a president that is prone to errors? It's bad. And that's the mother of all mistakes. I was just laughing. Is that again, when you were comparing saying that Nandi Kanu and Buhari have the same attitude, they are twin brothers. Is that I thought to myself that it's far-fetched, I couldn't swallow it. Is that a few days later, I heard Lai Mohammed shouting that what is also the good is also the gander. That if they pull down Buhari street, they should also pull down Nandi Kanu street. Is that I say, haha. So Jeruka was right, that both of them are twin brothers. You see, what is happening in Nigeria is a terrible situation. All of us just have to, those who are fond of coming to radio to say, God bless Nigeria, God bless Nigeria. I'll tell you before I will repeat it. That prayer is in an intellectual prayer, it's a useless prayer. Don't come to radio and say, God bless Nigeria. Say specifically what God wants you to do. What you want God to do. Anytime you say, God bless Nigeria, angels in heaven look at each other's face and say, what is this thing? Specific what you want to do. For example, President can go come 2020, make a year look at the president of Nigeria. Now you are talking. That is a specific prayer. You don't go say, God bless Nigeria. What's the meaning of that one? Those who brought us to this situation should go and fast. You remember, Ronnie, I told you around 2016 that time, I said, it looks like people that time. I said, those who brought this government to go and fast 40 days and 40 nights, no water, no food. They should go and fast and pray that God should let this cup pass over Nigeria because they brought it. Good morning.
Okay. Barrister Jeruka, veteran caller. He said 2016, even like referred to. But well, thank you very much. All right, let's take, can we take more telephone calls? I think there are text messages here as well. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
I had to call back. You didn't let me finish.
Mr. Olu, let's allow more people to call in. Okay, allow more people to call in. If you have a lot to say, you can go and type it out on Facebook. That way we can. But blocking the telephone calls was not acceptable. All right, let's take more real quickly. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
My name is Abiodun. I'm calling you from Ibadan.
Good to have you here, Mr. Abiodun.
I would like to comment on the issue of insecurity. I think the president is just trying to shift blame. Because all the security apparatus we have in this country are under the president, from the DSS, NIA, the Armed Force, Air Force, Police, Civil Defense. He all has the power to appoint immigration and customs. I want to beg us, please let us not have a new narrative. I can become a governor tomorrow. It doesn't cost me anything to tell the local government chairman to take care of their security problem. And the governor too can do it, just like the president is pretending as if he doesn't know the solution. Okay, these governors have said they have banned open grazing. And you came later and said, no, that they cannot ban open grazing. What are you trying to insinuate? If they are truly the chief secretary of their state, that means they have the power to take a decision of that nature. But you're also contradicting them. We should... Governors will also run away from responsibility, because a governor can tell a chairman, find solution to the problem of the local government, and nobody can also hold him responsible for that. This problem we're having, to me, is international terrorism. It's across West Africa, from Burkina Faso, Central African Republic, Nigeria, Chad. It is the same problem they are facing. Oyo State is just unfortunate that because of the landmass and everything, it's one of the few states that is suffering from it. Let's all join hands together and fight terrorism. I live in the north, the 2 years in Maiduguri. I know what terrorism can do. People should not politicize this issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love his last statement that we should not politicize it. So we can sit down and blame every blamable quote of people, but it's not going to solve our problem. We need to stand up and solve our problems. No angel will come to solve our problem for us.
Absolutely. Let's take one more. Can we take one more telephone call? All right, let's take one more. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Auntie.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
My name is Aduyana.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, all the years that are talking about security problems and that, I'm telling you, it's not a problem. The private government is a problem. It's a man-made problem in technology and technology. Now, if you put a particular problem in the system, to find it is very difficult because it's man-made. Now, about last week, Akwa Bomba was some weeks ago. There are some planning with a gun, and then carried over to the police. Other come from above, it should be released. Now, I didn't say they should shoot people with carry arms. I mean, what is the government? Is the problem? So, I was thinking about what this talk about security. It's no problem. Let Buhari sort for himself. We should stop that. No nonsense.
Okay.
Good day.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, when Buhari is done, the next name will be the problem.
Exactly. Because Jonathan was the problem at the time.
Yes, he was the problem, and Buhari, Obasanjo was also a problem. So no problem.
Nigerians consider them problems because they're not doing what they said they would do.
So when you get another one now, it will still be the problem.
Maybe we should start talking about how to get people that we're voting to do the things that they say, because you're not just coming there to enjoy the luxuries of being president, being flown abroad, having all that. You're coming to work. And I don't think I'm doing anything wrong if I'm expecting you to come there and do the work that you said you would do. We need to keep reminding them that, maybe if we talk as harshly as we're doing now, then they would realize that they're failing us, because we've been quiet for too long, and it seems like everybody's just sucking it in and just existing.
Well, let's hope that they listen. I think that's where it starts. If we can have a government that listens, because I think that's the problem. Oftentimes they're just not even listening. We can have a government that listens. Let's hope that they listen, but we must continue to talk. We must continue to do our part as well, because I think that we're all in this together. So we cannot say somebody is the problem. we all must take responsibility. But it's unfortunate that even at the top, everyone's looking for somebody to blame. Well, unfortunately, this is where we have to wrap it up for today on The Breakfast Gang on The Morning Splash. Thank you so much for being a part of the program with us. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for your messages on Facebook. Thank you for watching. We hope that you share the video to your community as well so they can participate as we talk about the issues concerning Nigeria. My name is Ronke Giwa Onafuwa.
I sincerely have the hope that we have an exciting week ahead. The June 12th protest, tomorrow is Democracy Day, and we know that people are planning protests. We hope that we don't see gory news, heartbreaking news coming off of that, but I'm really hopeful that next week will be better than what we had this week. My name is Charity Jerome. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
If you have to protest, please be peaceful. This is a nation that we've got. Let's not set our nation ablaze. Let us all conduct ourselves in a legal and orderly manner if you have to protest. I'm Oluwaseun or Akinola. We've got the nation to rescue.
Splash FM 105.5